So I'm doing well in the dark. I do well in the dark. I don't need full sun like some plants over there. And I think the point was that uh, at some point, if we were to come into contact with each other face to face, there would be a lot to feel and then a lot to avoid talking about. Basically, I guess that could happen to people, or maybe just some new version of people I expect there could be. And so we would be being better people in the most ideal outcome of that, or whatever. Wow, I really am cold. And that doesn't make a whole difference between me having a dialogue with somebody who freaks me out, or it, yeah, we're unrelatable, right? We're unrelatable, but at the same time, that was me saying if we had to be in each other's faces, we still know too much, which might, like, what? Arise? I don't know. So, like, yeah, I don't know how to put it, but you still owe me. That was loud. And the wind is, like, howling, too. Literally. So, yeah, this environment, it goes with my pants. My spiderweb pants. The environment is not empty. No, I've dealt with a lot of empty void. And you know what? I was feeling like that yesterday. I think that was part of a problem. I was like stressing out or something because of that long car ride. After I was saying, okay, first of all, the stressing out, I was like, this is never going to end. This is what it felt like those days to wait on my mom at the casino or to wait for my sickness to be over. I was like, this is not gonna end. Like, I don't know when it's gonna end, therefore it is indefinitely not ending. And then so that was just like a little recap on the trauma that I had. And then I was saying that I dye my hair, right? And it was just in time to go visit my grandma after she went on her cruise. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. I can't keep starting it over. I'm just flailing. That nicotine stuff sucks, man. I knew I could stay on my game, like, if I had it a couple times in the past of this thing, but I'm like, it's not that bad. Like, it's not that bad to, like, mess up a little bit. There's for the sake of the arts, and then there's, like, also humanity, or also, I don't know, like, ways to learn about innovation. And I wouldn't say that I don't have innovation of thought sometimes. I just don't. I'm retired. I'm just gazing at the stars. For the most part, I mean, mostly I'm being sheltered in the dark cold, right? Unless it's sunny. Okay, well, Yeah, see, I don't love this thing, but eh, eh, I will survive this. I'm starting to be like, this is like, this is crazy. Yeah, what do I have? My free moment that consists of learning to share, no matter what, learning to connect. Can't get too in your head about it, and you have to stick to your convictions and like, I was gonna say themes, but that was kind of skipping ahead. Darn. Alright, let me try again. I was saying I already went through that stuff, so the type of genres you could be on the internet. So, stressing about it. I'm stressing about, okay, I've made it this far in the dark, okay? But what do I really have to stress about? Like, I'm gonna die from one appearance of my image? Kind of. That's what I'm like if I were to go in public. So, yeah, man. Now I have to start over again. Only if I wanted to, like, well, okay, holding on to you came with holding on to a lot of ideas about what was around you and a lot that I didn't need and that you probably don't need as well, but you don't get to walk away from them, I guess. And now, not much to worry about there, but it's not like I don't understand. It's that I wanted to understand, and now I'm still trying to, in a way. Meanwhile, with everything I already know. And yeah, exactly. Hmm. I used up all my energy. Like, I get it now. I have a certain amount of energy to focus, and I fucking used it. Alright, let me try again. Motherfucker, you can define me all day long, but I still have to have a little bit of peace because, again, I'm holding up and not willing to see this as less than art. Although it has to be slightly self-absorbed. I get it. I, uh, what was I saying? I realized the effect I have, or the effect I have on people in the world. And so, it, I can't believe you still think like it's always gonna be so damn bad. Like, yeah, I'm not showing myself as like someone pathetic who's withering or wasting away, but I'm always gonna be pathetic over being lovesick, over being a hopeless romantic, over being um a princess in a castle or locked away in a tower. That's what I meant. Yeah, dumb. But yeah, I mean, I've been to some silly, strange places in life. And then I've been to some insane, like, as I was explaining about the never ending car ride without nicotine. So I'm just like on another level. I'm just like, it can't get that much worse. In terms of you've got to take your losses in order to create your gains. I could say one thing all day. Always account for your losses and count your blessings. And yeah, I wish I could be like a sage stick myself, okay? I'll just be the spirit of the sage. Like this wind howling outside. What does it want? And so I've made it to a difficult perspective of, if I could break it down, I don't know, two random unique counterparts who also deflect or face the opposite way as two sides of magnetic coins or something to deflect. And that's what happens after certain types of collisions. I'm not even like going to the extreme. And then the how does this contribute towards a society that is based out of robots and aliens? And then the actual robots, like, and the data and the blackmailing type of industry that's, yeah, like, unnecessarily, like, okay, well, yeah, okay, now I'm seeing how you gotta boost yourself up along the way, but it's just like, the means, Kundalini, I don't have to speak on the means of that perspective. And then I've got I had relationships until I isolated myself into this being who can kind of disregard those relationships in order to stay on track. For select people who represent humanity. I guess, I suppose that's what I've got left. I've got trying to understand humanity because I couldn't before. And so what? Yeah, I cleaned up a little bit more. I was just gonna say I did my eyebrows, but that's because you were like, it doesn't matter. Exactly. So then I'm making this space have some life, and that is by use of sound. And so I was trying to get to that next stepping stone or plateau, like level, like in a video game, cause I'm just a video girl. And yeah, basically worked, but I don't want to have to be so harsh, so maybe next time I try that. Who knows? So I don't know what I had to say there, but let's see if I have any time to contribute towards perspective, towards, okay, my version of perspective was like no matter what, like, I'm still holding up. Hold up. I'm holding up. And that's being like a military brat and like an attorney's kid's brat. Like, my lesson in being like, oh, you don't always get what you want type of thing. I've got that like anybody else. And trying not to be oppressed by my circumstances. But I also, yeah, I don't know. You're being neutral, that's fair, but that that type of blank um that blankness is not the same as forgiveness, I guess. What is the okay, I spent too long denying all this stuff. And yeah, it could exist. It doesn't, like, everything does and doesn't as an illusion. But I'm not getting into that, so